So coming to you from my rooftop sauna here in American Fork, Utah. It's Memorial Day weekend and I'm coming off of a real bad cold virus and didn't want to waste the weekend sitting in bed, so I decided to channel my inner Goggins and go for a big hike today. We're right kind of at that point of the year where the weather's nice enough to hike, but the mountains still aren't quite agreeable to that, so you have to pick and choose your hikes carefully. And Big Baldy, being on the west-facing slope of the mountains, gets enough sun during this time of the year that most of the snow is gone and it makes it hikeable. This is the kind of weather where it's kind of a hit and miss with photography. You can wait for a nice bluebird day and guarantee yourself some light, but that type of photography tends to be more on the boring side. So it's really during these transitions of storms, when you go from stormy to nice or nice to stormy, where you get the best photography opportunities. So that's what I'm going for today. Of course, the risk being that I might get to the summit and it's still totally overcast and totally useless for photography. But sometimes you gotta kind of gamble a little bit to get the really nice shots. So we'll see what we can get today. I like to bring all of my camera gear with me, although this hike, being a 3,300 foot gain, put it right around that threshold where I start taking packing light seriously. And since I already had a pretty good idea of the shot I was going for, I only brought my 21mm wide angle lens with me. After about a half hour on the trail, I looked back to see some storms approaching. With the weather being what it was, I wasn't too surprised not to see anyone else on the trail that day. As I made it further up the mountain, there were some encouraging signs of clearing as the base of Mount Timpanogos was breaking through the clouds. Turned around to see blue sky for the first time all day, and I was actually becoming quite hopeful this might work out. As I made my approach to the summit, all signs pointed to the fact that my gamble had paid off. And then I made it to the northwest ridge and saw nothing but dark clouds with a storm approaching. So it looks like I have a little storm heading my way. I'm so close to the summit and the radar makes it look like there could be clearing before sunset, otherwise I'd probably just hightail it down. But I'm gonna wait it out. I found a little low spot here in a gully that seems like about as good a spot as any to be as far as the immediate area goes. I'm not hearing a ton of thunder, which is a good sign, but I do imagine once that storm hits the mountains, we might see some lightning. So just taking all the precautions. We'll see. I'm starting to think that this might not pan out even after the storm passes. I don't know if the clouds are going to break the way I wanted them to, but got to give it a shot. In the mountains, there's no such thing as a good place to be during a storm. There's bad places and there's worse places. I chose a bad place, and I waited it out for 45 minutes with very little hope that things were going to work out. With about 15 minutes to spare until sunset, the storm passed,
and I made a push to the summit. Fingers crossed. The horizon was clear, the light was there, and with some luck and maybe just a little bit of divine intervention, everything came together. This might just be the best light I've ever seen.